Peace and blessings, people. Peace and blessings, y'all. Today I'm kind of going live from the Black Queens of Spiritual Healing group on Facebook and here on YouTube. How y'all doing today? Who I got in the room with me today? Make sure while you're here, you click like, click share, click like, click share. I'm going to do that too while I'm waiting for people to come in. How is it going? Hey, Kim. Hey, 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 hey. Y'all know what it is. Authentically Your Expressions. My name is Sharonda Barksdale. Hey, Toya. I'm good. How you doing, baby? How y'all doing today? What's going on? What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all better talk to me. How y'all doing? Y'all know I want to have a conversation. I want to talk about healing some of these mommy and daddy issues, y'all. Like I said, I'm filming from both. Hey, Nay. I'm filming from both Facebook and YouTube. So if y'all see me looking up and down, I'm trying to make sure I get y'all all in. Hey, Rachel. Hey, peace and blessings. Good to see y'all. I'm so glad y'all made it. Y'all joining me tonight. Because I want to talk about healing mom and dad issues. You know, that's a big one. That's a big one. When we're not dealing with our mom and dad issues, we're leaving manifestation on the table. But most of us want stuff. There's stuff that we want to manifest. That's what me and Rachel were talking about earlier. In order to get what you want, we have to do a lot of healing. The reason being is it's hard to manifest and hold on to what you want the most if you have a lot of junk. Hey, Rochelle, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Lauren. So it's hard to hold on to what you want to have in your life, like healthy relationships. That's a big one. Those of you who are looking to manifest a healthy relationship with someone, it's difficult because you're dealing with some past traumas or difficulties that came from your parents. If you had a father who was really inconsistent, sometimes you're dealing with abandonment issues. You know, if you had a mother who was, working all the time, that leads to some level of abandonment issues, or it leads to you feeling like I'm not enough. I'm not enough. So then when we grow up into adults, we get into relationships, and then we still feel like I'm not enough. We're always challenging this person to make me feel like I'm enough. I need you to make me feel like I'm enough. Make me feel like I'm pretty. Make me feel like I'm worthy. Make me feel all these things. Hey, Tam. We're looking for external validation. We're looking for people outside of us to make us feel some kind of way. And that's backwards. That's the best way I could say it. It's backwards. Your enough comes from you. You. Hey, Tab. Or did I say that already? Girl, I'm happy to see you. Yeah. Lauren said, I just started dating and I feel like I'm not worthy. Exactly. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. We get into these relationships and all of a sudden we feel your worthiness comes from the fact that you exist. Not that you've done anything beautiful, not that you have to jump on some dick like you are a stripper or anything like that. Or anything like that. Your worthiness comes from you were born. You were placed on earth. You came through the birth canal. You're here now. You're present. And so now you're worthy. Stop looking for your validation to be outside of you. A person should be able to see your worth just because they see who you are. I love who she is, not who she says she's going to be, not who she's trying to fake being. Show up as your most authentic self. When we begin to forgive some of the stuff that our parents did, it's easier to relinquish that space. Because we think that our parents are the ones who are the one, and it seems like it makes perfect sense. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it feels like, why didn't my mother tell me she loved me? Why didn't my dad kiss and hug on me? Why? Why didn't that come from that space? So then when we get older, we're looking for other people to do it because they didn't do it. No one's teaching us to do it for ourselves. That's the work that we're doing, y'all. How do you do it for yourself? How do you make sure you're happy, you're healthy, you're defining your worth? You define that. You get to say, I don't give a damn if I have to be by myself. I know that I'm worthy. I'm worthy of anything that I desire. I'm happy with who I am. And who I am isn't based off of who my parents were. That's the big one. And that's why we're having this conversation. Hey, Rita. That's why we're having this conversation because a lot of us are basing who we are on our childhood. I've probably said this to y'all before, but our childhood is our foundation. That's where we start learning how to interpret the world around us. That's where our perspective comes from. So if it was a beautiful childhood, very minor things may have happened, you tend to see life differently. You think that not too many things are going to happen. The world is my oyster. I'm going to go out here and get everything I want because you didn't have to fight so much. You see what I'm saying? But when we had to go through tumultuous childhoods like I did, a father who was in and out of jail, a parent that was heavily on drugs, a drinker, anything like that, instead of your foundation looking like this, because if you're going to build a house, you want a steady foundation. It's nice and solid, right? If you go out, we don't have to be architects to understand that the foundation of the house needs to be solid. But then we have these parents who are drinking, told us we were ugly, told us that we were dumb, told us that we weren't worthy. And so now we look like this. That's our foundation. That's what it looks like. So then we start trying to build marriages on this. We're trying to build careers on this. We're trying to build friendships on this. So that's what it looks like. That's not what it should look like. So when we start doing some of the healing work, when we step back and say, you know what, that's not who I am. I don't want my life to look like this. I don't want every decision I make to be considered out of pain. Every decision I make is, I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be like them. That's not how you should be looking at your decisions. When you keep looking at your mom or dad and being like, I don't want to be the same mom, or I don't want to marry a man like my dad, guess what you end up doing? Marrying somebody like your dad, being like your mama. It may not look exactly the same, but if you're just because you're not physically abusive, you're probably verbally abusive, or you're mentally abusive, manipulating people, things like that. So it'll still show up because you're still looking at the negative part of somebody in order to make your decisions. What you get to say is, I am my own person. I'm going to make decisions based off of who I desire to be. Who do I want to be? Sometimes it's hard to determine what that's going to look like if nobody ever showed you. But you can define words. Y'all been watching TV long enough. Get on Google. What does it mean to feel worthy? Define that for yourself. Not get into a relationship and expect this person to make you feel some kind of way. That person can get the fuck on for all I care. Seriously. And I'll still feel the same way about myself. Whether you're in a relationship or out of a relationship, you should feel wonderful about who you are because you're a beautiful being. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. You're learning the lessons of life. You're obtaining things. You're getting jobs. You're going to school. You're raising kids. Y'all doing some great things out here. That's what makes you worthy. Not how this person treats you when he comes in. He makes me feel worthy. Fuck all that. No, we're not doing that. So I really want to talk about 3 steps to healing those mother-father issues, 3 steps. And before I even get to the steps, I am offering a class. I shared it in the group yesterday. I'll be sharing it off and on. It'll be December 5th or the 6th. You get to pick which day you want to have to do your class. And some of y'all need to invite your siblings too. This class, y'all need to invite your brother or sister, whoever grew up in that same household, so y'all can all do the healing together. Don't you think? Look, I always have my notes. Some of you need to invite your siblings. Rita says, I try to look at my parents as just people. When they do something, I disagree. with to understand better. Exactly. That's the, ooh, Rita, you hit the nail on the head, because so many times we look at our parents as superheroes, something really great, this powerful person, this amazing person who brought me life and all these things, and we put them on this high pedestal. And then when they don't do something we like, we slowly start, our heart starts breaking. But they're just as human as you. They were able to make the same mistakes that you were able to make. Even in our best intentions, we mess up. Rachel, I'm gonna have to get that link. I want to say I have the link, but you can go to my website, absolutely, to www.authenticallyyourexpressions.com. If you're on YouTube, you can actually go to the About page and you can find my link and you can register there. Thanks for asking that question. It is on my website. And if you're on Facebook, I put my website on the chat so you can register for that class. But y'all need to come to this class because I want to see people begin to heal. Let's take those parents off the pedestal and let's give an objective look. Why did they make the decision that they made? So that's actually step number one. Step number one, Miss Rita, all up in my notes. Step number one, take an objective look at why things were they are the way they are, were the way they were. Because sometimes our parents are still the same. I've worked with a few people whose parents are still the same to this day. You see it, Rochelle? I put the website in there for you. Sometimes our parents are exactly the same. But if you paid attention, a lot of time our parents came from abusers. Their parents abused them. They had a foundation like this too. So when you take an objective look at that situation, you could say, wait a minute. My mom has some issues, but my grandma has some issues too. Or my granddad, he kind of abandoned her or he beat on her. My granddad beat my mom. She used to whoop her behind. Thank you, Rachel. Rachel posted the link in there. I appreciate that. And I'll post the link inside YouTube as well. Objective look means I don't see you as my mom. I see you as a person, woman who's trying to do her best. Woman who is really trying to do her best, and she may have messed up. Because guess what? We ain't gonna do it perfectly either. I love my kids and I do my best, but I know it's not perfect. I'm sure there's things that later on that I thought I was doing my best, and that happens too. Some of us don't come from abusive situations, but it's just that our parents were doing their best and it still wasn't quite enough. It wasn't quite what we thought we needed. So we have to step back and take an objective look at this. Why did my mom do the things that she did? It's not to excuse them, but it's to offer a space of forgiveness. It's truly a space to begin to say, oh, I forgive you. Have any of y'all have to consider that? I mean, have you ever considered my mom is a woman? Let me look at this woman. Let me look at how she grew up. Have you talked to your parents? Do you know anything about their history? That's a good question to have. When you're doing shadow work, especially when we're doing shadow work. And Rachel, if you have do you have the shadow work link with you? Because sometimes you do. Because I want y'all to join the shadow work group. Sometimes when you're doing shadow work group, you have to pay attention to your parenting styles, where they came from. Looking back saying, okay, this woman was doing what? Lauren says she don't know anything about her parents. And that could be some level of shadow work too, Lauren, because without that knowledge and not having that, could create feelings of resentment and not knowing what happened. Why don't I know anything about you? Confusion. But the beautiful part is, even if you don't know, you still don't have to be like anybody. You don't have to be angry. You get to determine what it looks like for you. What does this look like? How am I going to show up as a woman? What does a woman mean to me? I work with men as well, and I have them define, what does being a man look like to you? What does it look like to you as a man? Strength, protection. These are the words that they give me usually. Some strength, protection, provider. Okay, Those are your words. How do the actions look? Because that's what we have to do for ourselves. What does it look like to show up as a woman for me? What does it look like to show up as love for me? How do I define love? What is that? Going through that whole process of understanding who I am. You get to reinvent yourself when you take an objective look at your parents and you can say, that's why they made that decision. Oh, I get it now. That's why she's the way she is. Oh, so that's why she used to look at me crazy. Like people who have these colorism issues. They're light skinned and they have a dark skinned child, and now they harass the child for being dark skinned. Somebody probably harassed them for being light skinned. We're offended because, oh, she light, and so she's treating me this way because she thinks she's better than me. When the reality is this person was dogged out by their parent because of their skin as well. That happens so often. I've talked to a lot of people who've had that issue. Thank you, Rachel. She put the shadow work group in there as well. So just stepping back, that's step one. Step back and take an objective look. What could have happened? Get your emotions out of it. Get the emotions out of the way. How they made me feel. Oh, she made me feel so awful. Take that power back. Take the power back. And then step two, you're moving on. Well, then I need to forgive. Yeah. I know that's a big one because I know a lot of people who are not ready to forgive because y'all been through some rough stuff. I get it. But your forgiveness is not for them. You're not forgiving them for them. It's not doing them any favors. By forgiving, you're doing yourself all the favor in the world. All the favor in the world. I have now forgiven you because now I want to relinquish that space. When we don't forgive, you've got to be tethered, literally tethered to anger. You literally got to hold on to that space in order to still be mad, still be hurt. So then all your interactions with people come from mad, hurt. Or if you're not a real angry person, you show up as insecure. Tell me I'm lying. Now I'm a really insecure. So you come across as a real sweet, coy person, but you have a lot of insecurities going on you because, again, your foundation. Everybody doesn't show up the same. I know they don't all show up angry. All of us don't show up angry. And so y'all have heard that story of my father wasn't there, so now I'm out here sleeping with a bunch of men because of their story or because of what happened to me. And we don't consciously say, I'm gonna go sleep with a bunch of men because I'm looking for a dad. We think we're looking for a husband, but you're looking for a dad. You're looking for someone to replace the space that a father would have done. That love space that our dads would have did, we go looking for it in men. And then the next one, then the next one. When the healing has to start within. This is where the work is done. Lauren says, so me, I'm so shy and insecure, but sweet. Yeah, I've seen these people too. I slept with men looking for love. I appreciate you sharing that, Lauren. I appreciate that. It's very transparent. Very transparent. But that's what happens a lot of times. We're looking for something because we're tethered still. We're still holding on to hurt. So now it's creating a shadow. Yes, please contact me, Lauren. You see my website. I do free consultations. Just go in there, go to my contact page and sign up for a free consultation. We could talk, girl. Because it's time to get rid of some of this mess, y'all. It's time to get rid of this because y'all are beautiful. There's so much power in each and every one of us that we get to draw just by thinking everything we want and need from this earth. We have the power to say money flows to me with ease. I can get what I want. But the choice instead is I'm going to look for somebody else to do it for me. I want everybody else to fix me. Everybody else owes me something because I'm so angry with how my life showed up. So now I'm going to point fingers at everybody else. Then you get into a relationship. Everything's his fault, his fault, his fault. He don't treat me right. He don't treat me right. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is, like Pharaoh always says, cord cutting. When I forgive you, I get to cut the cord. That energy, when you plug something into the wall and the electricity that travels through it to make something work, that's not working. So go ahead and cut that cord. We're going to cut it and we're going to let it go because we're going to get to define who we are. There is peace in forgiveness, y'all. Why are we holding on to anger? Some of our parents, and here's the other thing, and I always do this when I work with people and I'm doing shadow work with you, a lot of people want to go back to the parent and talk to them. That can be a waste of time. They will not validate your experience most of the time because they lived it differently. I was the parent, so I'm not going to be thinking I hurt you because I was doing my best. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to think anything like that. They're not thinking, oh, I probably created some insecurity within her by the way I did, so let me say I'm sorry. No, a lot of times they're going to be like, I didn't do that. I was doing my best. So I don't know what the hell you talking about. You better leave me alone with that girl. That's what they say. So then now you're in more pain because you went back to that person. Your work starts with you. Your work starts with you. You get to relinquish the pain because you said so, not because you're waiting for somebody else to help. This is one of the things that we're working on this week in the shadow work group. That link is in here as well. What we're talking about this week is forgiveness. And that's why I wanted to bring it up today, because there are a couple of women who are like, I don't know if I could forgive them. And I get it. Hey, Veronica, I don't know if I could forgive him. I don't know if I could forgive her. And I understand the pain. Pain is what keeps us from forgiving. The hurt makes me not want to forgive. But in order to get over the hurt, you have to forgive the pain. There's no way getting around that, y'all. Because every time you look over your shoulder, looking back, you're not looking forward. Every time you're looking back to what they did back there, you're not moving this direction. We've got to learn to let go. Hey, Kika. We've got to learn to let go and forgive people. Mommy, daddy, and that extends past mother, father. This just happens to be the topic of the day, the mother, father issues. But that's something we have to do in general, even to people those of us who have been sexually assaulted. There's a lot of Black women out here who have been sexually assaulted. And because we have not healed through that process, we're still looking back. I remember when, versus talking about it in a healing way and helping somebody heal through their own journey, we're looking back at that. And so those type of situations, and including childhood mother father issues, we deal with control issues. So now when we get in relationships with people, we're trying to control them because we were out of control as children. We were out of control in sexual assault. Somebody was able to take advantage of me. And so now I'm trying to control everybody. I get into a relationship and now I'm trying to control him. Why you can't be this way? Why you can't be that way? And y'all don't know how to allow people to be who they are because people didn't let you be who you are. I get it. You got beaten every time you cried. You got beaten because of this reason, beaten because of that reason. People teased you. They mocked you. Families didn't take you seriously. That pain is there. And I understand that pain is real. I'll never take away your pain. I promise you that. I'll validate you. That shit was real. It hurt. Now, how are we about to get happy? That's my next question. How are we about to get happy? What we gonna do, y'all? It's time to do some healing because y'all are having children now. And when we create a situation out of pain, now we're having children. These children are growing up in pain. That's how generational curses live on and on and on. We don't do the healing work. So we're building our children up just like this. We're creating their foundation like this. And that's not to say you and dad had to stay together, but create a healthy relationship even in that, as healthy as you can. As healthy as you can. My baby says she loves new hair color. Tell her thank you. Rochelle said, I love you. I love you too, girl. Thanks for coming on. Yes, Tab, it's an absolute choice to be happy. Lauren said, I love her too. Girl, yeah, don't mess with me, y'all. Y'all know I get the blushing a little bit. Y'all start talking about love and ish. But I appreciate y'all being here. But yes, that class, the class is, I'm doing a series actually on shadow work. But the very first one, we got to get it in. We got to get it in. We got to start with that foundation so we can build y'all up strong. It's time for y'all to be stronger. So we're going to first take an objective look, right? That was number one. Let's take an objective look. Hey, Gizzy, we're going to look at it for what it is. Maybe my mother didn't have the capacity. I've said this to y'all on the live before, but some of y'all are new. This is a candle, tin candle, right? This is like me telling this tin candle, I need you to be this wall. Could you turn into a wall, please? Does it look like that tin candle about to be a wall? It ain't acting like it. And so that's what we're doing when it comes to our parents. We're asking them to be something that they can't. They didn't have it. That very thing that you felt like you needed so bad, that support and love you need, they didn't have it. Forgive them for that. For whatever reason, they just didn't have it. It's just not their capacity. And you got to give them a free pass on that. Why? Because now you get to build who you're going to be. That's why. That's step 3. We're going to create a new narrative. All right. So I took an objective look. Mama ain't about to be the damn, she ain't going to be the wall. I can't make her be something. Okay. I'm going to let that go. Now I can forgive you because now I understand. Now I have an understanding that you couldn't be what I needed you to be. Okay. All right. You didn't have it in you. I forgive you. Daddy, you wasn't ready. You just weren't ready. I forgive you. I'm done. I don't feel like being tethered to y'all's pain anymore. Now, who am I? Who am I? Now I'm going to create a new narrative. What's about to be my story? My story isn't going to, I'm not leaving this earth with this story of my mama did, my daddy did, so this is who I'm going to be too. Fuck all that. We're not doing that, y'all. If you're up on here with me, if you're going to come on my website, you need a life coach. You want to hire a life coach? Let me tell you what we're not going to do. We're going to get away from that fast. That's just session 1. I'm gonna get you off of that. Before we start building everything else, let's get rid of that and let's build this foundation. Now let's make a definition. Who am I about to be? Who do I want to show up as? What does motherhood look like to me? That was a big one for me. Because when it came to being a mother, initially I was like, I don't want to be the same mom that my mom was. I was scared to have girls. I prayed to God for boys because I felt like if I have a girl, it's going to be a horrible relationship just like it was with my mother. That's straight up. Terrified. I got 2 boys. God answer my prayers. But isn't that crazy? I was so scared, and I'm sure y'all have had that experience, or you know someone who's had that experience. I don't want to be my mom. I don't want to be that same person. So, but if I'm saying I don't want to be my mom, I'm tethered to her. I still show up as her some kind of way because now I'm looking at her decisions, her behaviors, and I call myself countering it, but I'm still going to show up as her. So I realized, no, Sharonda, don't worry about that part. Stop worrying about whether or not you're going to be like her. What does a mom look like to you? That's creating a new narrative. What does it look like to you? How do you define loving, caring? Do you want to kiss your kids every day? Do you want to tuck them into the bed? How does it look? What do you want? You get to create that narrative now. The moment you decide to let go of all those things that you decided you want to hold on to, you get to write a new damn story. How freeing is that? How freeing is that? I get to create a story of who I am. I get to create a story when it comes to marriage. We create this story. Neither one of us had this beautiful example. We didn't grow up with this amazing example of what marriage looked like. But once we did it wrong for a little while, we decided, okay, now look, you know who I am. I know who you are. I'm going to give you room to be you. You give me room to be me, and we're going to make this thing work. And that's how we make it work. That's the space that y'all have got to start looking into. allowing people to be, allowing yourself to be first, and then allowing other people to be who they are. Stop choosing relationships based off of potential. Oh, he has such great potential. Fuck all that. Potential could mean that he will never reach it, okay? Potential is a possibility. I need to look at who you are right now. Who are you right now? Now let me see if I can fall in love with who you are right now, not who I think you're going to be. Fuck all that. No. Hey, Clara. Nope. Y'all gonna stop falling in love with this potential. Know who you're dealing with. Who am I dealing with? That's what I want to fall in love with, so I can allow this person to be freely who they are. Not, he never held a job the whole time y'all were dating. You married him. Now you yelling at him every single day because he's not holding down a job. But he didn't show you he was going to in the first place. I'm mad at him because he don't do this. I'm mad because did he ever? And if for some reason it changed, conversation, talking, not yelling, not doing what I say do, conversation. What's going on? Because we don't give people room for the anxiety and depression that they're dealing with. A lot of men have anxiety and depression that is undiagnosed. They won't go to the doctor for it, y'all. Not all the time, every so often. But sometimes it's after a mental break that they finally figure out I'm dealing with anxiety and depression. So now we gang, because you're expecting him to be something you want him to be. And now he's even rebelling against that even more because he got to hear your mouth about it all the time. But that's because you didn't love you. You didn't start off on the foundation of loving you just as you are. Just loving you, your beautiful, wonderful self, and enjoying that space. How do I want to show up to the world? Some of y'all say y'all want to show up popping off and y'all need to be angry with everybody. Rock with it. Hey, I don't judge you. But y'all always talk about the law of attraction. What you think you're attracting? What do you think is coming back to you? If you're popping off all the time, what do you think you're going to attract? And the reason you're popping off is usually because somebody, again, foundationally hurt you. So now you feel the need to protect yourself all the time. Even when people are trying to be good to you, they're trying to love you, they're trying to provide for you, and you can find something wrong, and now you're popping off. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. This workshop coming up is going to be beautiful. We're going to go through these stages, and it's just on this very topic. My very first. This is going to be a series, like I said. This is a series. This is a series of different things that we're going to address that has to do with shadow work. That's what we're going to be doing. So I hope y'all can show up. The website is in the chat. And I hope y'all can show up because it's important that we begin to do the work. And here's the other thing. Stop avoiding investing in yourself. Y'all refuse to tap into the law of reciprocity. You want somebody to give you something for free. And oh, you're going to get some free stuff. Y'all know how free looks sometimes. I mean, not like my group coaching sessions, you know. Group coaching sessions and shadow work group look good. But I've invested a lot into that space, and the ladies who are in there are investing back by doing the work. But you have to pay some money sometimes to get the help you need. Too often we're trying to sit out here to do it by ourselves. Let me figure out how to do shadow work on my own. Right, Rachel? We're trying to do it by ourselves. You can't even see yourself. Y'all don't even know how to call yourself out about yourself. Y'all still arguing with people who telling the dang on truth about you. Y'all arguing. Mad. And then you have opportunities like this, like what I'm telling y'all about. I shared into the group. Let me share a meme about something funny, and then y'all all over it. Let me share something about getting some health, something that's going to make you better, something that's going to make your relationships better, something that's going to help you grow, something that's going to help build a foundation like this. And y'all ain't about to click on that motherfucking link because it ain't funny. I guess. Why not? I invested in myself because I refused to be as miserable. I was miserable. I was sad. Rachel said too often we want to manifest things, but want to vamp off of others. Completely out of order. I want stuff. I want things to happen, but I don't want it. I don't want to invest anything in it. Half the time, people don't even want to invest the time that it requires. This requires some effort, some consistency. Somebody gives y'all some affirmations. Use it for at least 21 days before you say it's not working. It takes 21 days to form a habit. Do it at least. You won't even invest the time in it. All we want is a potion or a ritual or some crystals or something that we think is gonna instantly create the healing. If I get some crystals, I'll be all right. Cut it out. Cut it out. If that was the case, y'all see a whole bunch of rich spiritual practitioners out here. If they was just out here practicing money rituals and that's what was working for them. Sorry, I might have hurt somebody's feelings just now, but I just told the truth too. Sorry. All of them will be walking around here with a whole bunch of money in their pocket and all the business in the world. But if we don't align ourselves with our highest self does not look like anger. When we're operating from our third eye, we're not looking at everybody else and pissed off with them. Our third eye is objective. When we come from this space right here, we're being objective, saying this person has pain somewhere. So I need to understand where they're coming from. Everybody wants to call themselves an empath. How can you call yourself an empath if you can't even look into what somebody else may be going through and understand it? And yeah, we take on the pain as empaths, but how do you operate in life? And I'm an empath, but you can't be compassionate towards somebody else. It comes from that foundation. Believe it or not, foundationally, it could be a struggle building like this. It is really hard. But when y'all begin to invest, getting you a life coach, invest taking some classes. Look, my clients are paying 2.5 times more per week to get their work done. I'm offering a class that you get to pick for 2 hours for one day for $48.88. Are you going to invest in yourself? I'm just asking because this pain doesn't go away on its own. And even if you're in a space where you can't afford things like that right now, you still have to invest time. You got to go do some research. You got to go watch some YouTube videos. You got to go find something that's going to give you some direction and give you the ability to look at yourself. Tab says she'll be there. Okay, Tab. That's important. Invest in yourself. Let that hair go for, a couple of weeks. You don't need no more inches. You good. I'm just saying. At least in terms of coming to healing, hey, go get your healing and let your hair go down under your ass. I don't care. But I'm saying do the healing work. It's time to do some work. Y'all want to feel better? Work. I want to see if y'all have any questions. Because I've been working with a lot of people with this lately. And I can go on and on because I've been seeing a lot of like I do couples coaching. So I've been working with some couples lately. And when I work with couples, I always work with them as individuals too. So I work with the couple, but I like to work with the individuals because you need two healthy people to make a healthy marriage. So I always make sure. It is online, Lauren. It's online. Yeah. We'll be doing a Zoom. But in those situations, I'm watching two healthy people with two separate rocky foundations. Ooh, honey. And now they've come together. Now they're married. And now they're about to kill each other because nobody did any kind of healing work. Or maybe they didn't know. Maybe they didn't know that there was healing work that was necessary. But I'm so thankful when they do. Hey, Princess. I'm so grateful when they do. But yeah, I'm ready to see y'all do some healing work because those issues are too much. That's just starting. A lot of people get into shadow work and they like, oh, this is so painful. Oh my God. It is. But at least let's start with the foundation. I ain't gonna go too hard on you. That's why I started with that class. Just you can start here. And let's build a better foundation so now you get to define who you are. One, you get to take an objective look at your parents. They didn't know no better. They didn't have the capacity. They didn't know how. That's number one. Number two, I'm gonna forgive them because they didn't know. They didn't know they were affecting me this way. They were living, they were fighting, they were drinking, whatever it is they were doing, that's what they were doing. That's number two. So I'm gonna forgive them. And number three, I'm gonna rewrite my own motherfucking story. Who am I about to be? If you're going to be a life coach, study in that mindset of a life coach. If you want to be a multimillionaire, study in the mindset of a multimillionaire. Whatever it is you're saying you're going to be on this earth, write the story and then align. Align with who you say you are. Align with your truth. But let's get this work. Y'all not gonna stop seeing my face. I'm gonna let you know now. You will not stop seeing my face. There's a lot of people out here who need healing. I'm gonna let y'all overbook me, and then I'm gonna send y'all Rachel Way, Princess Way, whoever way, all these life coaches out here. They're gonna get booked too. We're gonna send people. Look, there's a lot of healing out here that needs to be done. Stop running from it. Your life can get better, even though the shadow work is hard. Even though this acceptance is hard, your life will begin to change. You'll be in that relationship and you'll be able to accept the experience. Don't worry about, is this going to be my husband? I'm just experiencing this person. Every time we get together, every time we chat, every time we're texting, it's an experience. I get to learn lessons from this. That doesn't mean I have to fall in love with him. It doesn't mean he has to make me feel no kind of way. It doesn't mean you have to make them feel any way either. Let's start living with experiences because that's what this is. One life. This one life that you get to have, unless you believe in reincarnation, and then you probably ain't gonna remember this one, okay? Because you've probably been here before. But this one life, let it be fun. Let it be happy. Let it be joyful. Let it be peaceful. Let it be all these wonderful things that this life has to offer. There's some other shit out here. Yes, there's other experiences. But the more you radiate who you want to be and keep showing up as her, you're going to start drawing such beautiful experiences. All that money y'all looking for and stuff, that's where it come from. Even the Donald Trumps of the world can figure out how to tap into this energy. He don't give a damn what his mom and daddy did. He's just figuring out who he is and what he deserves and what he said is going to happen. But again, when you're not healed all the way, you don't hold on to it. Sorry, Donald. That's why you don't have the presidency anymore. Healed people hold on to stuff. You get to keep it because you get to love it, right? So that's all I have for you today, especially if you're not going to ask any questions. Outside of Lauren did ask, that class is going to be online. I'll be sharing it periodically. I'll be sharing it in the Shadow Work group, in Black Queens group until Princess tell me to cut it out. She would leave me alone. I'll be sharing it. You can follow me over on IG and all these spaces. If you're on Facebook, y'all can send me a message. I tell y'all that all the time. If you need to DM me and you want to have a conversation, we can. My website is in this chat. You come to my website, go to my contact page, set up your consultation. We can have a chat. I have time. When we're healers, we have time because we want to heal. Ultimately, I want to see you better. Reach out, YouTube, go to the About page. Click on one of those links. I got multiple links up there. You can find me. I let y'all stalk me. You can stalk me. If you follow me on IG, I have like a link tree that has like 8 different links. Oh, Rachel, thank you. Rachel brought up the retreat, y'all. We have a retreat coming up, y'all. Thank you, Rachel, because then we have this conversation that stuff will slip your mind. We have a retreat coming up next year, April 8th through the 11th in Blairsville, Georgia, for shadow work. It is called Uncovering Your Shadow. That entire weekend will be fixated on doing this work. It is $500, and the deposit is coming up November the 30th, $100. $100 deposit. Let me know if you want to come on this retreat. You can send me the money. I'm going to give everybody till November the 30th. These spaces are starting to, finally people figured it out, like, oh, I want to go. Tab, you know you can holler at me, girl. Quit playing. Yeah, Kim said, yes, I will be on that retreat. I can't wait. Yes. Lauren, you better come on. Look, the little links that we've been putting in here, come on in the shadow work group. Come on in the shadow work group. So you put your $100 deposit, and then you have till March the 7th to pay the other $400. So you can pay little small payments, or you can wait till tax season. You know, that's what I'd be doing, getting them taxes filed early so it can come in February and go ahead and pay off the $400 then. However that works best for you, y'all need to be there. We need to start doing this. Oh, that'll be a great birthday present. Oh, Lauren said she'll be 21. Yes, baby, come on. Come on with us. It'll be great. It'll be a great time. It's going to be full of healing exercises, really uncovering some shadows, understanding who you are, and embracing that space. For the longest, I thought the shadow was something that you had to get rid of, but wherever there's light, there's darkness, right? So we're not getting rid of the shadow. What we're doing is learning to control it. You don't get to tell me how I treat people, and you don't get to tell me how people should treat me. I determine that. The light in me, the love in me, the joy in me, the peace in me gets to determine how that shows up. And that's how we do the healing work. So you got a whole bunch of opportunities there. Free group coaching sessions. We do it every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every single Sunday, we do free group coaching sessions. That's what's in the chat. So you can come on in there and do some work. You can start doing some work right there. Number 2, I am a life coach. I have clients. If you need some one-on-one help, come on inside the chat. www.authenticallyyourexpressions.com. Come over there, set up your consultation. Let's do some work. Number 3, I have the class coming up. Healing Mother-Father Issues to live your most authentic life. That's a class coming up. $48.88. That's coming up. And another opportunity, your retreat. That's a retreat where we all get to spend some time together. You get to hear the stories of other women, and you get to do some real healing work. We're going to be doing some restoring. We're going to do some releasing. We're going to come out of that space brand new people. I expect to come out of there brand new. I do this work. Not just I do it for y'all. I do it for me. I don't want to retreat back to who I used to be. I don't want her. She was acting a fool. She didn't know how to act. She operated out of pain and stuff, you know. She didn't know how to act. So I do my work on a regular basis. Let's do it. Let's get this. You have opportunities free up to $500. Choose your healing potion. Okay? I'm ready to see y'all flourish. I want to see us powerful. Black women, we're supposed to be the millionaires out here because we push the hardest. But let's stop pushing out of pain. We've got to stop pushing out of pain. Stop letting pain be the reason you push. Let excitement, joy, peace, knowing that something wonderful is coming, let that be that you're pushing. Not, I have so much pain and these people aren't helping me and I'm suffering, be your push. We about to do this differently, y'all. This is time for the come up. I'm letting you know now, this is time for the come up. The portal is open. It's time for y'all to do your healing work. I love you. Again, I'm Sharonda, your life empowerment coach from Authentically Your Expressions, which I also like to call hey. Y'all so silly. Love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.